Good morning, students. Today we are beginning a new chapter. It is chapter number 17, Stars and the Solar System. Okay, so as the name indicates, we will be learning more in detail about the stars and also the different members of the solar system. Okay, so shall we move on to today's topics? Yes. So, in this chapter, you will be mainly dealing about the topics celestial objects. The moon, you will also learn about in detail about the star, constellations, the solar system as well as the other members of solar system. Firstly, moving on to celestial objects. What are these celestial objects? Actually, these are the stars, all the planets, moon, and the other objects which you see in the sky. Okay, so the stars, planets, the moons, and the other objects in the sky are called celestial objects. And the study related to these celestial objects is known as astronomy. Okay, the study of celestial objects and associated phenomena is called astronomy. We can learn about each of these celestial objects in detail. Firstly, we can move on to the moon. Okay, moon, it is a natural satellite. Moon is a natural satellite of our earth. Here you can see this is the earth, this is the natural satellite which is the moon. This moon is not able to give off its own light. It does not emit any light of its own. But even then we are seeing that moon to be glowing during night, isn't it? Especially during night, this moon is visible to all of us. So why? From where that light is coming? It is from the sun. So the sunlight falls on the moon. It is getting reflected from the moon, and when we see it from the earth's surface, we see that the moon is appearing to be glowing. So it is not actually the moon which glows, but it is the sunlight which is reflected by the moon. Now if you see, this moon is always revolving around the earth. Okay, it is revolving around the earth, and the part of the moon that faces the sun gets to light up. Okay, so here you can see the sunlight moving in straight lines. As it falls on the moon, that particular part, that particular half only, it's getting lighted up, isn't it? The rest of the portion is remaining in shade only. So here you can see this particular part of the moon which faces the sun gets lighted up while the other part remains in the dark. This results in the different shapes of the moon in the sky. You might have seen full moon, then half moon and all, isn't it? First quarter, isn't it? So these different shapes are there. Why it is occurring like that? That is due to the sunlight which falls on the moon as it is revolving around the earth. Now the different shapes of the bright part of the moon are seen during a month. So when we observe it from the earth's surface, we can see that each day the shape of the moon is changing. So that each of the shapes of the bright part of the moon which is seen during a month is called the phases of the moon. Okay, it is called the phases of the moon. So here you can see different phases of the moon. This is the full moon, and here you can see the crescent shape. All these are different shapes. So when the sunlight falls on the moon, the bright side which gets lighted up, it is what making the shape which we see from the earth's surface. So here you can see different shapes. And the time period between one full moon and the next and the next full moon. Okay, time period between one full moon and the next full moon is slightly longer than 29 days. Children, the moon always rotates around the earth, isn't it? It is revolving around the earth. So what happens? The earth along with the moon revolves around the sun. So here you can see the moon is revolving around the earth, and all this together is revolving around the sun. So when we look what is full moon, it is a day on which the whole disk of the moon is visible. Here you can see this is the full moon. The whole disk of the moon is visible to us. Now on the 15th day after a full moon, you can see no visible part of the moon. Okay, so that is because no light of the sun is falling on it. So that is due to the position behind the earth. So this moon will have reached behind the earth. So no sunlight will fall on them. So no visible part is seen from the earth's surface. So it will be appearing like this only. Okay, so this is called a new moon day. You will not be able to see the moon during that day because no sunlight is falling on them. Now during the next day after the new moon, the next day you can see the moon is appearing in the crescent shape. So this is the crescent moon. Here you can see the crescent moon. The next day the moon that appears in the sky is the crescent moon. What is the surface of the moon? How does it looks like? First of all, it is barren and dusty. Lots of dust particles without any water, presence of water. And also you can see the cavities like this. So such bowl-shaped cavities are also known as craters. So these are craters present on the surface of the moon. And also you will be able to see steep and high mountains. Sometimes these mountains will be higher than that of the highest mountain which is present on the earth. നമ്മുടെ എർത്തിൽ പ്രസൻ്റ് ആയിരിക്കുന്നതിനെക്കാട്ടിലും ഹൈറ്റുള്ള മൗണ്ടൻസ് പ്രസൻ്റ് ആയിരിക്കാം മൂണിൽ സംടൈംസ്. And also there is no water present over the moon, as well as there is also no atmosphere is also present. That is why life can hardly exist over moon. So here you can see there is no water, there is no atmosphere, and also there are high mountains as well as barren and dusty environment. Craters are also present. They are bowl-shaped cavities. Okay. The next celestial body, it is the star. You know, these emits light of their own. Stars sometimes seems to be blinking when we see from the earth's surface. So they are emitting light of their own. Sun is also a star only. Okay, the stars, they are far away from the sun. Okay, very long distance they are far away, and also therefore these stars appear to us like points because they are very much far away from the sun as well as from the sun. Okay, the stars, they appears to move from east to west. Okay, here north, this is the east, south, west. So here you can see the stars are moving from east to west direction. And it is also convenient to express the distance in light years. Always that distance is expressed in terms of light years. So what is light year? It is actually the distance travelled by light in 1 year. Distance travelled by light in 1 year is known as light year. Often the stars are located numerous kilometers away from the earth. So such long distances are always expressed in terms of light year only. So actually the light year is the distance travelled by light in 1 year. The next important term is the pole star. Actually this pole star is located in the direction of the earth's axis. This is the axis. It is located in the direction of the earth's axis. It does not appears to move. Okay, pole star does not appears to move. Next comes the constellations. Constellations, always the stars, they together forms a group. Okay, so that these group appears to us like a particular shape. So that is known as constellation. The stars forming a group that has a recognizable shape is called a constellation. The shape of the constellation generally resembles with the objects that ancient peoples used. Okay, there are different shapes of the constellation. Each of the constellation are made up of a group of stars. Three major or three important constellation we will be learning in this chapter. The first one is Ursa Major. It is also known as the Great Bear, Saptarishi or the Big Dipper. The second one is Orion or the Hunter. Third one is the Cassiopeia. So, Ursa Major or the Great Bear or Saptarishi, or Sapta means what? Sapta means 7. Okay, so from this you can understand this constellation comprises of 7 major stars. Here you can see this is the constellation. It is made up of 7 major stars. So, the first 3, okay, here you can see the first 3 stars. These stars, first 3 stars are forming the shape of a big question mark. Okay, so sorry, this major star is forming the shape of a big question mark. The first 3 are forming the handle of the ladle. Okay, this is the handle of the ladle, and the rest 4 of them. The remaining 4 stars are in the shape of the bowl of the ladle. Okay, so totally there are 7 stars. Second important major constellation is the Orion or the Hunter. So this Orion or Hunter, it is one of the most magnificent constellation present in the sky. Nearly 7 or 8 bright stars will be there, and it looks like a hunter, isn't it? So this is the belt. The 3 stars represent the belt of the hunter. And the remaining 4 stars are arranged to form a quadrilateral. Okay, so this is the Orion or the Hunter. And so here you can see a star which is known as Sirius. Actually, Sirius is the brightest star in the sky. It is also located close to this Orion. To exactly say, we can say that a straight line passing through the 3 middle stars of the Orion. A straight line passing through the 3 middle stars of the Orion, and in that line you can see the brightest star, which is Sirius. The third one is the Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia is another important constellation which is especially present in the northern sky. So here you can see the shape. So this is appearing like a alphabet. Can you tell me which is that alphabet? It is like a distorted letter or the W. Almost like W or inverted M. W or M. Okay, so this is especially visible during the winter in the early part of the night. Especially during winter season, you will be able to see such constellation which is Cassiopeia. Now we can learn about the solar system. Actually, the solar system comprises the sun, planets, asteroids, meteors, and other celestial bodies. So we can see each of these in detail. Actually, this is the sun, and the several planets are revolving around the sun. This is possible due to the presence of gravitational attraction only. Okay, they are not falling down, they are revolving around the sun. This is possible due to the presence of gravitational attraction between the sun and the objects, and therefore it keeps them revolving around the sun. Sun is the nearest star from us. Sun is also a star. It is the nearest star from us. It is continuously emitting huge amount of heat and light. All of us know, isn't it? And it is also one of the major sources of the energy on the earth. and it gives off heat and light which is required by all the planets. The sun is a very important star. Moving on to planets, we will be learning about each of the planets, and there are different planets surrounding or revolving around the sun. So they are doing with the help of a path, a particular path only. So a planet has a definite path in which it revolves around the sun. So if you look Neptune, it is having a definite path like this. So it is the time taken by the planet to complete one revolution is called period of revolution. Okay, what is period of revolution? It is the time taken by a planet to complete one revolution. So that is the period of revolution. Now we can see each of the planets in detail. The first one is the Mercury. Mercury is the planet which is lying closest to the sun. Okay, and it is also the smallest of all the planet. Mercury is the smallest planet as well as it is the nearest planet to the sun. Then comes the Venus. It is also known as Shukra. Okay, this is the Venus. Venus is the Earth's nearest planetary neighbor. So the nearest neighbor of the Earth is the Venus. Okay, in this Venus do not have any natural satellite of its own, but also it is the brightest planet in the sky. Venus is one of the brightest planet in the sky. It can also be viewed in the eastern sky before the time of sunrise or in the western sky before the sunset. Hence it is often called morning or evening star. During morning time, that is in the eastern sky, you will be able to sometimes see the Venus. In the evening time, you will be able to see Venus in the western sky, that is before the sunset. So therefore itself it is called morning or evening star. In which direction it is rotating? It is rotating from east to west. Again, it is rotating from east to west. But children, in the case of Earth, it is rotating from in the opposite direction only, that is from west to east. Okay, so so note down the direction in which each of the planets are rotating. Okay, the next third one is the Earth. It is also known as Prithvi. So this Earth supports life in it. It is the only planet which supports life in it. Here the Earth, it is appearing blue in color when we are observing it from the space. Why it is blue in color? Because 2/3 of it, nearly 70% of it is covered by water. So therefore itself life is possible on Earth. The special environment which is responsible for the existence as well as continuation of life on Earth, it includes the right distance from the sun. നമ്മൾ എർത്ത് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കറക്റ്റ് ഡിസ്റ്റൻസ് ഫ്രം ദി സണ്ണിലാണ്. ഓക്കെ, സോ ദി sufficient required amount of heat and light can reach the earth. Secondly, the right temperature range is also present. And the third one is the presence of water. Fourth one is the suitable atmosphere and a blanket of ozone. If all the other, even though if all the other factors are possible, if all the other factors are present, if there is no ozone means it will be a threatening to life. Ozone is very important. The earth possesses tilted axis. Here you can see, if this is the axis, earth is rotating somewhat in a tilted way. So this is responsible for the change in the seasons in the earth. And also the earth possesses natural satellite, and that is known as moon. Moon is the natural satellite of the earth. Moving on to the next, which is Mars. Mars is also known as Mangal. And here children, this Mars is having the color of red. It has a reddish color, therefore itself it is known as red planet. And it has two moons on its own. Okay. Have you heard about Mangalyaan? Mangalyaan. It was a orbiter launched by the ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. So this orbiter will orbit around the Mars. Okay, it will orbit around the Mars, and that its name given was the Mangalyaan. It was launched during November 2013, and it was placed in the orbit during September 2014. Okay, so it was launched in 2013 and placed in the orbit in the 2014 year. Then comes the Jupiter. It is also known as Brihaspati. Jupiter is the largest planet. It is so large that it can include, or we can place about 1300 Earths inside this giant planet. So can you imagine how large this Jupiter is? So around 1300 times Earth can be stored inside the Jupiter. And also it is rotating very rapidly on its axis. And it also has a large number of satellites. So it is the Jupiter. Then comes the Saturn or Shani. It appears yellowish in color. Saturn is appearing yellowish in color. We just studied that Mars is appearing reddish in color. Here it is the Saturn which appears in yellow color. And it also has a beautiful ring which are not actually visible with the naked eye. Saturn is the least dense among the planet. It is less dense than the water. You know, ice has less density than water. That is why ice is floating on water. So here you see Saturn. It is also having less density than that of the water. Next is the Uranus and Neptune. Uranus and Neptune, if you see, these are the outermost planets of the solar system. Like the Venus, Uranus also rotates from east to west only. Okay. Like Venus, Uranus also rotates from east to west. Uranus also has a highly tilted rotational axis. Now coming to Neptune, it is the farthest planet from the sun. Okay. Therefore itself, it is very cold over there. So this is the case of the planets. Now we can see what are the other members of the solar system. First of all, it is the asteroids. So in between the orbit of the planet Mars and the planet Jupiter. So in between these orbit, you can see some compounds present like this, isn't it? So this is a large gap only. So in between this gap of the orbits of the Mars and Jupiter, numerous small objects will be occupied, and they also will revolve around the sun. These are known as asteroids. Actually, this is the asteroid belt. This is the asteroid belt. You can see numerous asteroids which are revolving around the sun, and that can be only seen only through large telescopes. Then comes the comets. Actually, these comets generally appears as a bright head with a long tail. Okay, this is a bright head with a long tail. The length of the tail grows in size as it approaches the sun. Okay, and as the comet approaches the sun, the length of the tail will grow in size. The tail of the comet is always directed away from the sun. Okay, it is directed away from the sun, and they also revolve around the sun in its highly elliptical orbits. Halley's comet. Halley's comet, it is appearing nearly after every 76 years. Okay. Then comes the meteors and meteorites. Meteors is usually a small objects which occasionally enters the Earth's atmosphere. At that time, it will be having very high speed, and due to frictional force, this will be getting heated up and it will glow and evaporate very quickly. Okay, as it enters the earth's surface, what will happen? It will, due to the frictional force, it will get heated up and it will evaporate and glow very quickly. So you will be able to see a streak like this. And if the body reaches the earth, it is called meteorite. Okay, if the body reaches the earth, it is called a meteorite. Now the last, it is the artificial satellites. Artificial satellite, as the name indicate itself, it is man-made satellites. So these are launched from the earth only. So they will revolve around the earth much closer than the earth's natural satellite moon. Okay, മൂണിനേക്കാളും അടുത്തായിട്ടാണ് നമ്മളുടെ എർത്തിന് ചുറ്റിനും ഈ ആർട്ടിഫിഷ്യൽ സാറ്റലൈറ്റ്സ് റിവോൾവ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. Examples are Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta was the first Indian satellite. Other examples of satellites are INSAT, IRS, Kalpana 1, EduSat, etc. These are having different application. Why we are launching all those satellites in the near to the Earth's surface? They are used for several purposes like forecasting weather forecasting, then transmitting television, radio signals. Okay, also they are used for telecommunication and remote sensing. So all these are the different applications of the artificial satellite. Children, now we can just quickly once again go through the chapter, and this is like a summary. The celestial objects, all those star, planet, moon and the other objects in the sky are called celestial objects. The study related to the celestial object is known as astronomy. The moon, it is the natural satellite of the earth. It does not have the ability to give its own light. Instead, it is reflecting the light of the sun that is falling on its body. Now this moon is revolving around the earth. Okay, so due to this, the sunlight falls on different regions of the moon only. Okay, sometimes all the whole disk of the moon is visible. Sometimes it is not at all visible because no light is falling on the surface of the moon. Okay, so therefore itself there are different shapes. The bright part of the moon seems to have different shapes, so that each of these shapes is referred to as phases of moon. Here you can see different phases of moon. And the earth is around the earth, the moon is revolving. The moon and the earth all together is revolving around the sun. Moon, it is okay, regarding the full moon day, the day in which the whole disk of the moon is visible is known as full moon day. And in the case of new moon, after the 15th day of a full moon, you will not be able to see moon in the sky. That is because the moon will be appearing behind the earth, so that no sunlight will be falling on them. Therefore itself it is known as new moon day. The next day after the new moon, is known as crescent moon. Here you can see the crescent shape. The surface of the moon, it is barren, dusty, and also it has bowl shaped cavities in them, or it is also known as craters. High mountains are present, no water or atmosphere, therefore itself life is not possible on moon. And the stars, they are able to give off its own light. Sun is an example of a star. Stars are away from the sun, isn't it? Therefore itself, when we observe them from the earth's surface, they are appearing like points. Stars appear to move in the direction of east to west. Okay, so the stars are moving in the direction of east to west. We have also learned the direction of the different other planets. Okay, here we are expressing the distance in terms of light years. Okay, light year is the distance traveled by the light in 1 year. Pole star is located in the axis of the earth. It does not appear to move. Regarding constellations, a group of stars, they together form a recognizable shape. and that is known as constellation. The shape is resembling some objects that the ancient people already used. Three major important constellations are there: Ursa Major, Great Bear, Saptarishi or Big Dipper, Orion or the Hunter, Cassiopeia. So the first one is the Ursa Major or the Great Bear or the Saptarishi. So here you can see there are 7 major stars. The first 3 forms the handle of the ladle and the rest of the 4 forms the bowl of the ladle. The Orion or the Hunter is the next important constellation. Here you can see this 3 stars are joining together to form the belt of the Hunter. Nearly 7 or 8 bright stars will be present in this. Okay, the remaining 4 stars are forming a quadrilateral. You can also see Sirius, that is a bright star which is present in the line coming straight by joining the 3 stars, and that is the Sirius which is located on that straight line. The third one is the Cassiopeia. It is having the shape of W or M. It is visible during the winter. And also the solar system, it is comprising the sun, the planet, asteroids, meteors and other celestial bodies. The gravitational attraction between the sun and the other planets are helping them to revolve around the sun. Sun is the nearest star from the us. Okay, and it is also continuously emitting light. A huge amounts of heat is also generated. It is the primary source of energy for the earth, and also it is the main source of heat and light for all the other planets as well. The definite path in which the planet revolve around the sun. So this is the path. So that is known as the orbit. Okay, the time taken to complete one revolution is known as the period of revolution. Now coming on to different planets. Mercury, it is the smallest of all the planets and also the closest to the sun. Venus, it is the brightest planet. No natural satellite of its own. It is also known as morning or evening star. It is also rotating from east to west. Then comes the Earth. Life is possible on Earth due to the reasons like right distance from the sun, right temperature, water availability, atmosphere availability, ozone presence. All these helps in the maintenance of life on Earth. Earth possesses a tilted axis. Here you can see Earth is tilted like this, about 23.5 degree, and also this tilt is the main reason due to which seasonal changes are occurring. Mars or the Mangal is the red planet. It is reddish in color. It has 2 moons on its own. Mangalyaan was an orbiter launched by the ISRO around the Mars. Jupiter is the largest planet of the solar system. Nearly 1300 Earths can be placed inside its environment. On this particular planet. That much large they are, and also it rotates very rapidly. It has also a large number of satellites. Saturn, it is the yellowish in color. So this is also having a ring. Beautiful ring which is unable to see with the naked eye. It is also least dense. That means if you are putting that on water, this Saturn, the planet, it will float. Uranus and Neptune, they are the outermost planet. They also rotate from east to west. Uranus have highly tilted rotational axis. Neptune is the farthest planet from the sun. Therefore, it is taking more time to revolve around the sun. Asteroids, they are they are present in the asteroid belt. So this asteroid belt is present in between the orbit of Mars and the orbit of Jupiter. So here you can see numerous small things like this. This is a gap which is filled by these objects, and these are also revolving around the sun. Comets. They generally appear as a bright head with a long tail. As they approaches the sun, the length of the tail grows in size. Okay, they will also rotate around the sun. Meteors and meteorites are the small objects that are occasionally entering the Earth's surface or the Earth's atmosphere. At that time, due to the high speed, due to frictional force, the meteors will get lightened, or it will glow and it will evaporate quickly. So, what happens? Sometimes, in some situations, this does not happen, that the body reaches the earth and then it will be known as meteorite. Artificial satellites are there, and they are man made, and they are used for several purposes. Okay, some of the examples are Aryabhatta, EduSat, InSat, etc. Practical applications include weather forecasting, transmitting television, radio signals. They are also used for telecommunication and remote sensing. With this, the chapter is getting completed. So, thank you, children. Thank you all.